my good friend JP Moridi agreed to come on our team meeting today to discuss with you how he's doing real estate and what he does in his daily life to stay top of mind with his clients. He lives in the Silicon Valley. He focuses on celebrities, athletes, and high-end homes. He has worked with the 49ers. He has been honored by Forbes magazine and was given the Chairman Circle Award for achieving sales in the top 1%. He was recognized by the Wall Street Journal and Real Trends as one of California's top agents. He has over 33,000 followers on his Instagram. And he also drives a Maserati, which we're going to talk about. So JP and I have been friends ever since we met at a Keller Williams event called Mega Camp. And for those of you that are new to KW, oftentimes it feels like you're going out of your way to spend a lot of money to go to a different city just to go to a convention. But I guarantee you that it's not just the information that you gain from events like this. It's also the people that you meet that start to elevate you. And one of the things that you are all aware of is that I've been doing a podcast with top agents, and I started with our Keller Williams agents locally. And JP will be part of season 2 with us. But I don't think that I would have come up with that idea had I not met JP during that time. And it was because of his way that he stays top of mind with clients out there. So, hi JP, how are you?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you?
Good. Do you want to say anything before I keep blathering on?
Go ahead. I'm ready. I'm excited.
Well, already in the chat, we have someone that's like, hey, Notorious, because you've got the BIG in back.
It was always a dream, you know? We make dreams reality over here, girl. Come on now.
I know. I have the Notorious RGB behind me. So, and Andy Blackwell has given it a big shout out to the Niners. So super funny. I mean, you've invited me down to San Francisco to see a 49ers game, but you are interesting because you don't go to a game like most people think. You are standing on the sidelines with the players, and the players know you. And so let's talk about, for starters, how did you get recognized by someone that was in professional sports to start using you for home sales?
You know, I always loved sports. So, you know, I loved football. I love the 49ers, San Francisco Giants. You know, I was always a big sports advocate. And I'm always one on, like, you know, if you want to do something, put yourself in that position, live that type of lifestyle, right? I was always helping normal clients. I was doing really good as a regular agent, you know, doing what we do every day. But I wanted to do it a little higher. I want to take another step up. And I was reached out by a friend. You know, I started going to the games and stuff and started meeting people. I met one guy that was affiliated with the 49ers, and they kind of branched off from there. I really capitalized on my friendships and relationships that we meet, right? And I use them, and not in a negative way, right? But, you know, I give and get back, give and receive type thing. So that kind of exploded from there. From there, I was contacted by a producer in LA to shoot a TV show as well in the same year. It was 2017, early 2018. And you know, given I chose not to do the TV show for several different reasons and timing and things like that, right? And it's going to take my distraction off the business. All the flair and puff and huff is always good, right? But at the end of the day, it goes down to the numbers and hard work, and any distractions like that are going to distract me from my business. So that's why I veered from there. But basically, I put myself in those situations, you know, put myself around the people that can get me closer to them. And, you know, we build great relationships. And now that circle has become, you know, the closest friends to me, as you know, which is ironic. So
yeah. Well, let's talk about that for a second, because I think that this is where a lot of real estate agents really get hung up, and that's not wanting to feel pushy, and they don't want to put themselves in a position where they feel like they're shoving their business down people's throats. And I want to really point out the way that you and I met. And so when you're saying, like, I just connected with people and I was going to the games, you know, I'm sitting on a park bench in Austin, Texas, and I'm with my good friend Cheyenne, who we interviewed on a meeting before this. And we're having girl talk, and we're all cozied up on the bench. And here comes this Spitfire, JP Moridi, and just start, hey, what are you guys doing? What's your name? How are you guys? Da, 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 da. And I was like, who is this person? But for some reason, as I was listening to you, I was like very intrigued, because you weren't telling me all the things about you. You were asking us a lot of quick fire questions. Who are you guys? What are you doing? How did you guys get to Mega Camp? And it made us feel like you really wanted to know who we were. And so I really want people to understand that you didn't just walk into a stadium, pick some seats out and decide like, I think I'm going to work for the, I'm going to start selling some homes for the 49ers. You walked in and you said, I'm going to get to know people and I'm going to have conversations, correct?
100%. I never throw business down people. People always feel awkward, like ask for business, things like that. I'm just, I'm relevant. I stay top of mind and I don't push the business down anybody. But at the end of the day, with the market knowledge and we know what you're talking about, people are intelligent. They could read right through it. And I'm clearly the best for the job, no matter who I'm talking to, and they see that. And that's why I got the business. Not because I'm saying, hey, I'm a realtor, here's my business card. I don't own business cards. I don't pass up my information. They ask me for my information because they want to work with me. Right. And, at least 70% of my business now is consistent for my past clients. I'm selling 4 homes right now for clients I bought the past 2 years, buying bigger homes, all above, $2.5, $3 million price range, all because of that. You just stay top of mind, you stay relevant, and, just be happy, be excited, right? It's not a job. Once you think of it as a job, I think that's where kind of people get held up.
Totally. I'm going to go actually bounce over to the way that you handle buyers, because when you told me this, a year and a half, whatever it was, 2 years ago, when you told me your confidence, and Andy Blackwell just commented on this in the chat, was that confidence is everything, basically. And it is. I think that it takes a lot to kind of get out there, put yourself out there. But one of the things that you told me about buyers was, you'd have a $5 million buyer and you'd basically tell them that you're not going to drive them around everywhere. Knock it off. I'm not showing you homes all day long. You need to go to open houses. And so how many homes do you actually show buyers?
With COVID now, it's a little bit different, but let's talk about pre-March. Generally, I think I showed probably like last year, like maybe 2 clients, homes, if that, and that's just because we wanted to write an offer that day. I knew the agent was just going to work out in my favor, right? But I think the one, like we were talking last year, I remember, and I sold a client's house for 2.1. I bought him the $4 million house in Las Gatas. And she was a senior vice president of Oracle. And yeah, I didn't show him the home. I didn't go to the house once. I didn't do any of that stuff. And, and everyone's like, oh my God, like I got to send my clients listings or do this. I told the client straight up, I'm like, dude, I'm sitting here doing a conference call. You're going to get the listing from like Redfin or Zillow anyway, right? Before I even see it on MLS or anything else. So I was like, I always set the expectation up front. If you see a house you like, anything like that, send it to me. I was like, please just shoot me a text and I'll do all the research. I know the areas, I know the market knowledge, and I'll tell you if it's, a green light or not. And
I think that that's the difference though, is that you and I, the way we communicate is we get on FaceTime. We think FaceTime is so funny, right? We're FaceTiming each other at any given time. You're definitely like, you'd be driving, you're hitting it go, and I can watch you driving. And one of the things that I thought was so funny is anytime that I would call you to talk to you about what was going on in the market, what was happening in business, you were actually previewing homes. So when you say, I know the market, I know houses, I know all of that stuff, you actually do. And I also find that real estate agents don't understand the importance and significance of previewing at least 10 homes a week. So when you go out and preview homes, are you doing, like, tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I know, my buyer presentations are 7 minutes long. So back when clients used to come in the office, they'd be out of my office in 7 minutes. Like if it's over 10 minutes, I'll start slapping myself in the head. Like it's not going to work, right? I literally sit them down and I tell them, look, I'm not going to do a 2-hour PowerPoint presentation. I'm not going to bore you. My job is to find you the house you like. Tell me what you want and I'll go find it for you. Bottom line, right? So I know what my clients are looking for and I know the areas, right? And I know you just have to know the markets. You have to know the listing. You have to know the inventory. You have to know the turnaround time. Like what would you tell me right before the call? Oh, we have, how many days of inventory you have in the market. You know your numbers and that's why you know where to guide them. They'll tell me, oh, I want to buy in this area. I'll tell you, you can't afford this area. Flat out. And the reason people don't have that confidence because they're attached to the transaction. They're attached to that paycheck. They're attached to it. And if you're attached to it, you'll never win. You have to go freely and know your business and be powerful, be confident. And then you sense people want to buy for someone they like, right? Sales is a transfer of enthusiasm. You sit with me, you're excited when you leave, right? Instead of a guy saying, oh, this a-hole just kicked me out of his office in 7 minutes. The client, earlier this year was like, dude, you're amazing. You just saved me so much time, right? See, it's all how you transfer that and how you perceive them. And I'm doing them I'm not wasting their time. They get to go I say you guys get to go on the weekends, go on your own time, spend as much time as you want in the houses. You're not going to feel rushed. And then call me if you like it, we'll make a deal. That's what happened, right?
Well, I think also okay, so two pieces. One is I think that buyers want to feel that sense of urgency. They want to know that you're gonna jump on the writing piece of it and the negotiation piece of it. I think it's very interesting that people in that price range are fine going to these open houses, and they want to spend time in the house, they want to walk through it multiple times, and they don't need you for that piece. They know if they like it or not. And I interviewed somebody on my podcast a couple weeks ago, and she said, I'm pretty confident that you're really smart and that you're going to actually know when you like a house. So I'm going to let you look at stuff. So I think that that's brilliant. Anything else that you want to mention about buyers? We want to talk about how you come in on an offer with buyers.
Okay, yeah, well, we can go back to the same transaction I was telling you. So, they saw that house was $4 million. It was listed for 4.3, and she calls me. She goes, "Look, I want to write offer for 4.2, right?" And I said, "No." And she said, "What do you mean?" And I called the agent. The agent said, "If you write an offer for 4.2 today, we'll accept it." And I said, "Lorena, wait till tomorrow. Give me 24 hours. I'm gonna get you a better price." And she's like, "What do you mean? I don't want to lose the house." I said, "Look, there's a small chance you might lose it, but I'm gonna save you money. Believe me. Give me 24 hours. But if you lose it, don't come kill me." She goes, "Okay, JP, I trust you." Next morning, I got it accepted for $3,992,000.
Wow.
Right? I saved him $208,000 because I fight for my clients. Right? I'm not attached to that paycheck. I'm not that, but that's why I get so much recurring business. Right? I know the numbers. I know the comparables. I know the relationships are one of the biggest things with other agents. Right? It's this one agent. A lot of times they get a listing and they try to be controlling and they think they're like the king of the world, right? With one listing, and they treat other agents like shit. But at the end of the day, the problem in this business is every other agent, how they treat each other, right? Yeah. We all show each other with the same respect we want to be treated with, talk to them. And that's why when I write an offer, they'll take mine. I'll be 4th, 5th, 6th place. I'll be 100. I got one. I was $150,000 less. They'll take mine too, right? They just did. Because of that relationship, first of all, they trust me. They know the deal's in close and we're not going to have any problems. When I tell my clients qualified, want to buy this house, they're going to qualify and it's going to close, right? Without problem. So you have to demand that respect and show all the other agents in the market that respect, because it's a small community, and the world travels quickly.
It does. Even in Portland, we have over 10,000 realtors, and I'm not kidding. It's weird. People know the other person, and they want to have a great co-op relationship, and they will pick a person that they know will get the transaction to close. And so I think it is really important to pick up that phone, make that phone call. And what's funny is, and my journey, I was looking for a house for 18 months or whatever it was, 16 months. And I had lost out on like 4 or 5 offers. And when this house came on the market, because I was on it on the internet, I personally knew the realtor. And so I called up the realtor and I said, "Hey," she's like, "Dude, my phone has just blown up in the last hour. I have 16 showings back to back." She said, "But I'll get there a half an hour early. You look through it." And I just looked at her and said, "Tell me what to write and we'll lock this down." And I think it was because she knew I was going to get to the closing table with my representation in my office and how strong I felt about that. And it is so true. I cannot stress that enough with agents, to really have that great relationship with other agents. Okay, let's talk about listings. So you and I had a conversation about listings, and we talked about, how to price them, what to do with listings. So I'll just let you roll. Start with,
it's a competitive, obviously, market now. We talked a little bit about Portland's market as well, and similar here, right? Things sell fast, and clients they always have an expectation in their mind. You always have to be prepared. When I go on a listing appointment, I look at that Zillow number, I look at the Redfin, because that's what they look at. So I just want to see what's implanted in their head now. And I know kind of, when I address those situations, I kind of shoot it down, walk to the house with them and talk about a reasonable price. And a lot of times, let's say I think it's worth 2.5, they want to price it at 2.6, right? Why not? Let's shoot for the, stars and we'll land on the moon type thing.
Right.
But it doesn't kind of, that doesn't work, a lot of times. And it ties back to what we said earlier, right? When people are attached to that transaction, they won't be honest with the client. And I always tell the seller, right? I was like, I'm going to be brutally honest with you, and that's what you need, right? You need a trustful agent, somebody you can trust. It's not worth this number. Am I going to shoot to get you that number? 100%, right? 100% I will. But let's price it. Pricing is the biggest thing, right? You want your listing to sell fast, the fastest in the market, right? Especially now, inventory is low. So right now, I just took a listing very close. My office is connected to Apple. So that's the Apple building right behind me, and right down the street, a mile away. I bought it from 1,750,000 in 2017. It's worth 1,880,000 on a good day. They wanted 2.2 million. Zillow said 2.2 million. This is last week. I said, look, let me price it at 1,899,000 and see where we can get. We sold it for basically 2,070,000, right, within 4 days. Was it worth? I mean, it was worth a lot less than that, but it was up pricing. If I would have priced it at 1,999,000, it wouldn't have sold that high.
Right, because you had to get it under to get the eyeballs to look at it.
The more people, I always tell them, the more traffic we build, the more people I can get, the more people are going to be interested in the property, the more hype I can build, the more I can pin people basically against each other in a multiple offer situation, which is always going to ultimately benefit you, right? The more people that see the home, let's say one guy budgeted 1.9 million, but he's going to come here, he's going to fall in love with it. He's going to get that extra, $40,000 for the down payment to boost his purchase price up $200,000, right? Yeah. And it happens all the time. So they're going to ask parents, family, friends, if they truly love that property, they'll find a way. They're buying a house for $2 million, they can get an extra $40,000 for the down payment if they need it, right? Yeah. So we always try to structure it, go a percentage lower than what I think it's worth, 5%, give or take, depending on the area. Every city's different, obviously. And I found out that'd be successful. And it saves the agent a lot of time. It saves the seller a lot of hassle. And you get that thing sold in a week and everyone's happy, it's done. Yeah,
I love that. Okay, so one of the things that I do know about you is that you love to push limits. You and I had the opportunity to go jet skiing in San Diego, and the police pulled us over in the water.
Yeah.
And I think that is the way that you live life. And I love that about you. Like, you just push the limits enough to see how far you can go. And I think that you do that with your clients as well, where you push it up to that limit. You make sure that you're but you're looking for a result every single time. And I think that fear holds people back from pushing limits. And one of the things that I know about you is that you and I are very much into like our motivational memes. What would you say to somebody that was just fearful?
Well, look, we all have the same time in a day, right? We all have the same time in a day. I make two choices every morning. I got up at 5:15 this morning, worked out again, and, came to my office. I always say we have two choices every morning: to wake up, live life, get up out of bed, go to work, or get up and pump yourself up. Be excited for life and motivate. Change the game. Be excited. Be different, right? It's not going to make. It's the same thing. It's like I was in boxing. I go kickboxing every day, one-on-one, and I was in boxing yesterday. I had 45 minutes, and I was tired. I was just going to half-ass it. But I said, look, I got 45 minutes, make it the best. And I did make it the best. And you come up on top, right? I feel better. I look better. It gives you that euphoria and energy. You have to be able to take risks to make it big. And if it's right, playing it safe, it's good. You'll get by, but I don't want to get by. I'm not the type of person to get by. I want to win. I want to be the champion. I want to be number one. I want to be the best. I want to be in the public eye. I want to be known as the number one agent in the area, and that's what I've been doing, right? I've been your energy tells it all. So you have to want to take risks and push the limits for the client's well-being.
Well, I love that you just said that you want to be number one, because I think that the reason why a lot of people don't want to be number one is that they get a lot of haters. So when I started my podcast, it was super funny. I had people commenting on my nail polish color. And today, I'm pretty sure I'm going to get somebody that comments on the fact that my nail polish isn't perfect today, And it's like, I get mesmerized kind of at what people actually focus on. And I think you have extreme focus on business. I think you have extreme focus on growth. And what do you do when you have a hater? Like, what does it do to your psyche? What does it do to your physiology, whatever? What do you do when you have haters?
Makes me super excited.
And why?
Because well, first of all, I don't need anybody in my life. I'm totally self-sufficient. I don't need anyone's approval. As long as I know what I'm doing, I do what's right. I'm great. I'm on top of the world. And the more haters you have, the better you're doing.
That is so true.
Right? To me, it's about quality, not quantity. Everyone's like, oh, I need my friends this, my friends that. Oh, you're not friends with this person. I was like, look, we have indifferences. My mindset is up here. A lot of people are down here. I place myself around the people, whether it's 100 people or it has to be one person, right? I don't care, honestly. And I'd rather be isolated from my own mentality, because nowadays society and everything else and social media and everything, it's just so negative. People are negative. People drain you. They're a time suck and energy suck. I choose not to place myself around those type of people, because you are a product of who you hang out with. You are a product of who's around you. I don't care how strong you are, how mentally powerful you think you are. You place yourself around losers, you will be a loser.
Yeah.
Right? You want to be the best, place yourself around the best. Place yourself with people that have energy. Place yourself around people that you want to be like, and don't be intimidated. Be like them, adapt to them, get the energy, feed off it, and live life. Or if you want to be mediocre, go hang out with mediocre people like 98% of the world, unfortunately.
Casey is laughing so hard right now. She's my doppelganger and my other partner here at the office, and she is we used to put JP on speaker in the office. If we needed to get pumped up, I'd be like, hold on, let me call JP down in Silicon Valley and we'll get him on the speaker. And people could hear us from other sides of the offices just to get us pumped up. And I think too, like, you know, you've called me for things that are, how do I get out of this? How do I move forward on this? What do I do on that piece? And I think that that's the thing that people don't understand is like, we don't do this totally alone. We reach out to other successful people and try to figure out how to get involved with those things. I did contact you about Forbes. I think that you know, that was a lot of the reason why we were so connected, was just I really wanted to understand how Forbes had embraced you and what had happened with that. And I think what a lot of people don't understand, and the same thing as my Women of Influence Award, is that first of all, you have to put yourself out there. You let Forbes know that you were available to be a top, hey, I'm a top 1%, here's my numbers. And so what a lot of people think is that you just got recognized by Forbes. I just got recognized by the Wall Street Journal or the Portland Business Journal, and you got recognized by the Wall Street Journal just because. It doesn't just happen just because. You have to go after it. So do you want to talk about Forbes?
Yeah, I went to kind of like what you said. There was an editor, Randall Lane, he's the chief editor for Forbes. And the first I got invited to a conference they had, and it was 2014 or 2015. And I knew as the chief editor, I made it an effort. That trip, I'm going to go talk to this guy and I'm going to let him know who I am. I'm going to let it be heard. And it's funny, I don't think I ever told you that, but now it ties back to what you just said. I will talk to this guy. I will let him know that I am the best man here. I am the best person here for these reasons. I have 30 seconds to do it. Let me do it. It's not like an elevator pitch for me whatsoever. This comes natural. You know, in this business or anything you want to do in life, if you don't have a burning desire to succeed, you will not make it. I'm not saying you won't do okay, get by, but I'm saying if you want to be a powerhouse, if you want to be amazing at what you do, you have to have that burning desire to succeed. I told myself I will be in Forbes. I will accomplish all these things. When you walk into my office, there's a huge billboard that says I'm coming for everything they said I couldn't have, right? And I had all these goals
that I couldn't have. I love that.
I had all these goals, you know, when I first got in the business to set, they're like my 10-year goals, my 20-year goals, right? My short-term, my long-term. I hit every single one of them in the first 3 years. My goals I set for 20 years out, I hit in the first 3 years, right? And every single person, you know, I get asked this a lot, like, how'd you do it or this and that? Every single person has the same opportunity. It's just how bad do you want it? Are you willing to pay the price? People are so entitled nowadays. No one wants to get up in the morning. No one wants to put in the work. They want instant gratification. That's the problem, right? You have to have delayed gratification. Pay the price today to live a life you want to live tomorrow, right? And a lot of people, unfortunately, they don't do that. They won't put in the work now. The amount of work you put in today, it's going to pay off in a year, right? 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, 2 years. And people don't see that, right? They want results instantly. And unfortunately, that's what I've been seeing. It's been a common problem for everybody.
Well, I think that they think a little bit small too, to be honest. Like, I know I did when I first started really setting goals about 10 years ago, and I got really, really diligent about making sure that I was doing like, kind of like what you said, like, okay, I only have 45 more minutes to do X, Y, Z. It's like I started breaking down the day into hours. And about 10 years ago, so the goals that I set for 1 year, I set 1 year goals, 5 year goals, and I was surprised at how fast I got through the 5 year goals. But it's only because I wasn't thinking big enough. I didn't think I was entitled to that. I didn't think that I was, that I could earn that. And I think that that's part of the issue too, is that we don't think big enough and we don't think we're worth it.
100%. You know, it's just, you have to be putting in the work. And my first 3 months in the business, like the first 2 weeks, I'm like, oh my God, how do you even sell a house? Like, this is so difficult. Like, I don't get it. And if you look in the MLS, in that first, it was 3.5 months closed. I closed 17 buyers from open house alone, right? 17 transactions. The average agent in Silicon Valley is doing 1.2 transactions a year, right? On our price point. And I did, you know, and this was coming out of a recession too. And I did 17 closed on the buyer side alone, not the listings that year. It's because I said I'm going to find a way to do this, right? I know I can adapt and I'm versatile. You have to be, that's why I go, you know, my clients from the CEO to a hip hop artist to a football player, right? And I'm able to adapt and be genuine and truly care about their well-being. You know, at the end of the day, my father told me the first day in the business, if you look at this business as a dollar sign, you're going to lose, right? Look at someone's heart, focus on their well-being, and you always win.
Yeah, your parents are amazing people. You have a very tight-knit family and you're a great dad. You spend a lot of time with your kids, and a lot of people think, and maybe listening in today and say like, well, JP is just a hustler 24/7. But I know you personally, and I know what a family guy you are. I know how connected you are to, especially your mom. You're a mom's boy. Let's just all admit that.
Yep, I'm going to show her this clip right now. She's going to be like, yeah, that's right.
Mama's boy, and you love your kids. And at, you know, 3 o'clock, 3:30, I'm watching you taking, you know, going swimming with your kids in your pool and really spending time with them. You drive your kids to school every day. You play with them after school. And what you do is you hustle in a short amount of time and you focus. And when you are in the middle of hustle, you're not talking to your mom and your dad and your kids. You're saying, this is my work time, but you've crunched it down. And I think a lot of people, they have this misnomer that they're supposed to just work 24/7, but I think it's because they don't work very smart. You're an incredibly smart worker with the way that you do it. And talking about the open houses, I remember, I mean, there's plenty of times where you walked me through an open house. You've shown me your process as you've gone through, but you are so focused when a client walks in that you're like, I gotta go, I got money sitting right in front of me, or I've got a deal, or I've got a human, because I do think that you go at the human approach first. And I think you do truly care about your people. So yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people just get really, they don't know how to do it all. And you've learned how to balance that. Is there anything that you could give them on tips on having great balance with friends, family, and business?
Yeah, 100%. Well, you know, in this, again, this day and age of an entrepreneur or self-employed, people instantly link it to, like, you know, like you said, oh, I got to work 15 hours a day, right? Or as an agent, I got to go show homes till 10 p.m. at night. Absolutely not, right? You have respect for yourself. You have a business plan, follow that business plan, relate that to your audience, your clients, whatever it is. And they notice that. Like you said, I work, and this year with COVID, I worked a lot more, right? From before last year, you saw, I mean, I took 38 trips. I think the year before, 41 trips last year. Yeah. And still produce, right, at a high volume, because I will block my time out, right? From like, I'm still at my office early. You saw, I mean, this morning, I told you, 8 a.m., I was here from 8 to 10, right? I'll follow up all my past clients, do everything, and I block my schedule out. But at, you know, after 3 o'clock, it's time for my children, right? Yeah. As long as I have my schedules planned in advance, you know, as long as you relay it to people, everyone's always so scared to tell the client. Again, it goes back to they're attached. They're attached. The clients understand I have kids. You know, and when they call me at 6 o'clock, I'll text them, I'm sorry, I'm having dinner with my children, right? I work every day. And they, oh my God, I'm so sorry, JP, we'll talk tomorrow. It's not urgent.
Yeah.
Right. And the best thing ever, I mean, my father just started giving out a cell phone number in 2014, right? He didn't believe in it because, you know, I remember we were at an appointment on Friday and the agent was like, oh, Al, I need your cell phone number just in case there's an emergency. He said, if you have an emergency, call 911. There's no emergencies in real estate. I'll call me Monday morning if you need anything.
Your dad's awesome. So I think that that's the other thing, is that a lot of people that are in real estate actually did have parents that were in real estate, or still do have parents that are in real estate. And your dad's like an OG, man, in the Silicon Valley. Like he is the ultimate OG. And so did your dad teach you everything?
No, he actually kicked me on my ass and said, go out and learn yourself.
Yeah.
But what I did do, I sat in his office, I listened to the way his process. I listened to the way he communicated with people. I adapted it. 80% of the stuff he did the first couple months ago, I thought it was crazy. I was like, oh, you don't know what you're doing. This is new process. You're old school. You don't know. But I didn't apply that. I did what he did. And I was like, you know, Tony Robbins once told me years ago, I was like, what's the easiest way to become a millionaire? He's like, dude, this is so easy. I'm like, what is it, man? Tell me. I was like, I'm pumped. He's like, find a millionaire and do what he does. I'm like, what else? He's like, that's it. He's like, wake up when he wakes up, eat what he eats, sleep when he sleeps, read what he reads, talk the way he talks, and you all have the same results.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. And it works. We adapt. We make it happen.
No, Tony Robbins. That was the other thing that I think is so funny. Like the people that you're connected to just crack me up.
Right. It's just, I love it. You engage good energy, right? Like I always say, I always tie it back to, oops.
We got calls coming in. All right.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I just, place yourself around good people, good energy, and you'll adapt, right? That's the people you place yourself is always the biggest thing for me. It's, your crew, your circle is always what's going to make or break you.
Well, let's talk about crew and circle, because your motivational meme this morning was, how do you have 20 friends to go out to drinks with, but not one to do business with? And so, yeah, you care about people. Yeah, you have a lot of friends. Yes, you put yourself out there, but let's talk about that meme for a second.
Yeah.
They better do business with you, or they're out of your friend circle, or what's the story?
the smallest, there's small thinkers, and I always get shit for saying this, and it's true though. The people that get mad are the people that think that way.
Yeah.
Oh my God, but they're my best friend. I have to go out fucking Friday night till 2 a.m. because I don't want to offend them. Hell no, right? It's my life. I'm in control of my life. Yeah. Right? For the longest time, you're not here to please anybody. You're here to take control of your life. In 10, 15 years, if you're not where you want to be, it's because of your decisions today. Yeah. Right? Self-gratification, sacrifice today to live the life you want. You want to go work 5 years, build your business, go take 40 trips and do whatever the hell you want then. Right?
But do you require them to do, do you tell your friends, they have to do business with you?
Absolutely not. I just place myself around the people that think the same way as me, that do business like me.
Ah, okay. I
don't force anybody. I don't want to do business with anybody that doesn't,
So you're okay to outgrow your friends.
100%. I do it every year. And honestly, it was the hardest part for me. The first 3 years in the business, a lot of people, my role models at the time were telling me, you got to up level. You got to stop hanging around the people you're hanging around. And I'm like, no, I'll grow my business, and I'm a real person. I'm real JP. I stay with the people but unfortunately, I mentally outgrew them. Yeah. And the more I held on to that, the more it dragged me down.
Yes.
Right. And you have to learn to let go. Right. If you want to be the best, you have to be the best. Your actions have to show it. And holding on to people, it's not going to work. The average person goes like this. Right. No, go to your 9 to 5, come home. You don't have any goals, right? You're content with what your life is. But me, I always went like this. I'll dip, but I'll go like this. Dip, go up. Yeah. Right? No one's perfect, but I push myself every day. Right? I hype myself up to get up in the morning. I tell myself when I wake up in the morning, this is the price you have to pay to live life you want to live. Yeah. And I get out of bed every single day that early and pay the price because I want the results. And that's what you need to do to get the results.
You like a fun life, that's for sure. You definitely like a fun life. You have a new Maserati about every year. And just because I think you like the sound of the engine, which got me addicted to them. So I'm like, ooh, the engine does sound good. I kind of like this car too.
I wanted to buy one last year too.
But you mix that business with personal a lot. And I guess I've never asked you this question, but have you sold a house for any of your car people? Because you're into cars, and I've seen the cars in the Moridi parking lot, and I'm like, whoa, what's everybody driving up in here, right? And so, do you sell houses to those people too?
I have, yeah, I have, and again, it ties back to I've never asked for the business, but I'm relevant, and they know I'm the best person for the job, right?
That's the thing, that people have this disconnect, and it goes back to that meme this morning. How do you have 20 friends that you go hang around with, or 20 people that you do business with, but you don't have any transactions, is basically the way I read that, right? And I'm like, if you are a shoe girl, let's say, like me, like I love good shoes. My shoe guy and I are friends. And he is going to buy a house from our company. If you are a car person and you buy cars every year, why is that person not doing business with you? And so knowing that everything should be flowing between your business and their business is also really important to you. And I've seen you do that over time. All right, so we have just a few more minutes. What do you want to share with everybody? Is there anything else?
What I can say is, with all these crazy things going on, right? We all slip up, right? You have a bad day today, you have a bad day tomorrow. We all have personal issues that go on. Just don't let it roll, right? The biggest thing is that it lets it snowball. People get negative, like younger me, right? I'd get mad, I'd leave. I go on a trip, like, oh, I deserve a vacation. 5 days, I'm not gonna answer my phone. right? And now the reason I'm allowing myself to grow and grow and grow is I cut it now. I had a bad day. I reacted. If I reacted negatively to something, cut it now. In 1 minute, it's a different story. I changed my attitude right then and there and build, right? You have an issue today. You lose a deal today. Instead of getting negative, going home, drinking 2 bottles of wine, pick up the goddamn phone, call one of your other transactions, fix it, heal it, follow up on your past leads, call your past clients, go get another transaction.
Yeah.
The biggest thing is people, when something bad happens, they just boom.
Well, I do want to point out that this is kind of funny because I get to know every single person on my podcast. I know that people hear all the personal stories that I tell about the people because I really do get to know the people that are around me. And I know that you have a vice. I know what your vice is. And it's when you need downtime, you absolutely go into a Netflix binger. You stop talking to everybody.
I go in my little hole. But I have to stop it.
You turn on Netflix and you're like, can't talk to a single soul until all my shows are done. But then it's like you turn it, right? And that's your vice so that you get out of the mindset that you're in.
100%. Like, to be brutally honest with you, like early in my career, like I would go home, I'd have drinks, right? I'd make an excuse to have like a glass of, 2 glasses of wine, 3 glasses. Oh, I'm stressed out. This happened, that happened. But all that does, any of that negativity, what it's surrounded by, it prolongs me for getting to the end goal, no matter what it is. You get in an argument with somebody, your significant other, anything else, just snip it in the bud, cut it, change it, be a positive influence, and stand out. Change your mood, right? Tony Robbins always said, in the snap of your fingers, you can change your whole perspective and mood, right there. Don't let it snowball, right? Yeah, you need an hour to yourself, 2 hours, go take your 2 hours, come back and be ready to rock and roll the next day or 2 hours from there, and just smile, right? Love, be happy. Like, life is short. We're blessed to be on this call. We're blessed to be here. We're blessed to have everything we have.
I don't know how we know each other so well when all we do is get on the phone and laugh the entire time. Like, we really do. And I think that that's what you're talking about, like that positive. I just start cracking up the second that I get on a call.
We have our coaching meetings, 5 a.m. Remember? What's up? Ready to rock and roll.
I love it. Well, hey, Andy Blackwell had asked the question that we were just addressing, which was, how do you maintain such a good mindset? And we've kind of talked about that in and out. But Andy, if you want to come off mute, I'm happy to field some questions for JP from the audience because we need to wrap up here in a few minutes. So if you have questions, throw them in the chat. I'll call on you. Andy, do you want to come off of mute? Give her like a second here.
Yeah,
hey.
Thank you. Well, I was thinking like there's so much interspersed that obviously is like a really great mindset, really great approach to life. But is there something that you do, like the focus that you work on to keep that like hate out of your head and the negativity? Is there like something that you're like that you can point to that you're like, yeah, I do this regularly, or I connect with this person regularly, and that like feeds my bucket for that?
Yes, actually. So I have a list of people, right, that they'll call me. This is not a said thing between us, right? But if I have an issue, right, or something, I'm feeling down, I'll call them. We'll talk, hey, how's your day going? This, that, and the other. They pump me up. But more than that is I fill my head up with positivity. Whether it's audiobooks, I have like 4 or 5 motivational YouTube videos that I'll play that just, it's small little things that just give me like, yeah, life's not bad, right? It's not so bad. This moment's not so bad. Get going. So I have, books that I try to fill myself. I love getting in my car, blasting music, driving crazy and, living life. But unfortunately, the books, I can't do that. The books help me keep me going, right? Because life's tough for all of us. Don't get me wrong. We wake up, I have a shit storm on my plate every morning at 8 a.m. You don't know it. I go home at 3 o'clock. I have 4 or 5 deals that are having issues, people calling, texting, arguing, yelling, all this stuff's going on, but you can never tell based on my demeanor. I show up every day, smile, because it's not that serious. 1, I'm not attached to it. 2, I continue to fill my mind up with positive people and positive things. This is kind of like, it goes back to the friends, right? Like the drinking thing, right? You have a bad day. What's your average friend going to say? Oh, well, let's go out to the bar and get drunk. What's my other friend going to say? Hey, go home. You take it easy. Go take a nice hot bath. Take a shower, right? Relax. Go work out in your garage. Call it a night at 8:30. Wake up tomorrow morning, hit the gym again, and feel powerful. Versus the average human mind is like, hey, let's go get fucked up. Excuse my language.
Now I have to beat
right?
that.
It's just. Oh, sorry. Let's get, let's go grab drinks.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I think that that's true. It's like you get right back on track. But I want to go back to the negativity part. And right now during COVID, I think it's super hard not to stay in the news. You want to, we've had a lot of political things, we've had a lot of movements, and we've had, of course, a pandemic. And you can tend to get all of those things. But what I know about you is you actually don't get sucked down that hole. You don't even watch the news like that.
I don't.
And you'll replace it with something that will give you some fuel or something positive.
Yeah. People get up in the morning, watch the news. Oh, this person's dead. 80 people died here. One shooting here. Yeah. When you fill your mind up with crap like that, you're not going to start your day off with the momentum you need, right? If it's something serious, I'll hear from somebody else. Trust me. Someone will call me. If there's something I need to know, I will hear from somebody. That's always been my thing, and I've always got the news.
Social media.
Yeah.
Somebody will tell us on social media.
It's going to be everywhere. If you need to know it, trust me, you'll know it, right? Just don't make excuses. Place yourself in a power position. Put powerful things. Watch powerful things on your phone. Instead of clicking through Instagram, go watch a video that's going to pump you up, motivate you. These are little tweaks in your life that will make a world of a difference. Everyone's 1 millimeter away from really taking off and hitting your goals. It's literally that close. It's the decisions you make in your daily habits that's going to dictate what happens in your life or not, right? It's all up to you. It's in your hands. So that's for one time, I remember I was on Instagram, it was in 2018. I said, every time I want to go on Instagram, I'm going to go read, right? I'm going to read 5 pages of the book that I'm reading. Yes. And I did that, and I'm like, oh my God. Like a week later, I totally forgot about Instagram. I would post and stuff for my business, right? But here and there, but I wouldn't scroll anymore. And until this day, I don't, right? And I'm off it. It's just, you change that habit. You have to break these habits that you have. It's just natural. You went in the grocery line, you'll just start scrolling through your phone, right? You sit down on the couch, you start scrolling through your phone. Break that habit by replacing with something positive. And now you'll see those little tweaks in your day will turn out to be a massive thing 1 year from now.
Yes. All right. Anybody else have any questions for JP before we let him go Tasmanian devil across the Silicon Valley? JP, I'm so grateful for you being on today. I know that your time is extremely valuable. I know that you are, like I said, a great dad and a good family person and a person that really takes a lot of focus in your business. So I know that giving your time to us today at no charge, you asked for nothing from me. You just said yes immediately when I said, will you please help my real estate agents in Portland? And you were like, absolutely. And I'm just so grateful for you. And if there's anything that me or anybody at Keller Williams Portland Central can do for you, we're happy to do it. We thank you for being on today.
Oh, you're awesome. Thank you for having me. You have to give. The more you give, the more you receive in life. So anything to do to help people, I love it. So I'm blessed to be here. Thank you.
Thanks, JP. Thanks for joining us today on Getting to Know Your Realtor. This episode was brought to you by Lifeline for Hope. Be sure to catch us on Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Stitcher, and be sure to subscribe. Thanks so much again for joining us today. Have a great day.